Yahoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to the Aquarian Adepts, my platform to become your spiritual server. And welcome, Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, and Aquarius Rising, or anybody who just wants to hang out with the Aquarius Tribe, to part 1 of your July 2018 report. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. And we are going to dive into the cards and a bit of the astrology to see what's going to be happening for you. Part 1, this will apply for the entire month, and in part 2, my intention is to do a bit of a shorter video, but it's going to be like a more intuitive channel where I probably will do like an automatic writing, and then I'll just go from there. But for this reading, we're going to be drawing from my Shadowscapes Tarot. We're going to be drawing from the Sacred Traveler Oracle cards, and I'm also going to pull a color card for you as well. So let's go ahead and dive into these videos. Alright, let's go ahead and dive into your reading. Aquarius, how are you doing? Awkward. Oh man, okay, yeah, so let me just say that these readings so far have been pretty awesome. Thank you so much for all of the recent subscribers and the likes. I see that my channel has grown quite a bit over the weekend, and to all of those who have recently subscribed and liked and shared, I really do appreciate it so very much. You have no idea how much this means to me. But Aquarius, we do have a very powerful month. We have the new moon solar eclipse, which is occurring this week on Thursday. We have a lunar eclipse in your sign at the end of the month. Jupiter goes direct this week. Chiron went retrograde last week, and Mercury goes retrograde at the end of the month. And I will be making weekly videos on the importance of all that. But really, with this one, we're just going to be drawing cards, and I'll talk a little bit about those particular things. I'm going to cut the deck, pull that card. These are the first 3 cards that kind of just popped out, though. We have the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Swords, and we have the Two of Wands. And this card that I cut the deck with was the Lover's card. Woo! Oh, I think it's going to get spicy for you. Whenever I see the Lover's card, I usually like to tell people, and even myself, that the first relationship that you really want to establish, rekindle, or really work on and acknowledge is a relationship that you have with yourself, because that's the only way that you're going to attract that soulmate, that partner that really understands you on a foundational and soul level, is by first having that love for yourself and making space and time for yourself. But it's very interesting. I think what's going to happen here is that if you happen to be single, you definitely could find a potential soulmate this month. If you happen to be with someone, I think what's going to happen is that your relationship is going to pretty much go to the next level, and I think your partner is even going to notice an increasing sense of self-worth and self-value. What I see here is that we have the Two of Wands, right? So this is speaking of, you having one way, you have 1 or 2 paths that you can take. And you can be fired up, you can be passionate, you're ready to kind of go on a new adventure and move forward. And here we have the Ace of Swords, which is awesome because this is speaking to clarity. This is speaking to your thoughts being clear. You have a clear vision. You're really wanting to take the sword and move forward in a very powerful and streamlined way. And you're taking this based off of what's happening here with the Knight of Pentacles. So you're going to be feeling more valuable. You're going to be taking action this month that actually contributes to an increasing sense of self-worth, self-confidence. And like I said, if you happen to be single, somebody's going to notice it. They're going to notice the pheromones. They're going to be like, oh snap, what are you doing, Aquarius? What you doing over there? If you happen to be partnered up, then your partner is going to notice also that your awareness is growing up. And honestly, the courtship never dies. It's like, that's one thing I kind of like to say to couples, or even like to remind myself, is that, the courtship never dies. Whether you've been with someone for a year, 5 years, 10 years, or 50 years, you're still dating that person. You're still courting that person. So I think what happens a lot of times, especially when the relationship starts to, increase in how long they've been together, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, is that people begin to take the relationship for granted. They begin to take the partnership for granted, and they forget that they're courting each other still. They forget that, they can still release the pheromones and keep the passion ignited and keep things flowing and going. But as, relationships progress and as they become more complex yet simple at the same time, it's like the way that you really want to keep it going is by you have to fall in love with yourself. You have to really, or rise in love with yourself is what I like to say. Technically, what I like to think of it is that you typically fall in love first and then you rise. It's like you fall, because say you're like right here, right? You meet someone and then you fall. And then you have to find yourself and you get back to this level. That usually happens during the honeymoon phase. It's where you're kind of brought back to you kind of brought back to that one point where, you were before you met them. And then when you start going up, it gets a little bit more difficult, right? It starts to get a little bit more difficult. And that's going through the challenges and the work and stuff. But what it seems like for you is that you're going to be feeling like you're ready to really speak your mind, and you're really going to be wanting to, feel more to your voice and to your truth, and you're going to start, showing people just how valuable you really feel, showing your partner and showing the world just how an awesome person you are. Like I said, if you happen to be single, somebody's going to notice. They might try and take you off the market. If you happen to be coupled, your partners are going to notice. Be careful, because people outside the relationship might notice, and they might try and pull some slick stuff. And I don't know why I'm channeling that. I think it's mostly because of just a lot of the energy that we have going on. Because we have this new moon solar eclipse, which for you it's in Cancer. So for you, it's going to be the 6th house. And it's opposing Pluto in your 12th house. So, Pluto retrograde, mind you. So spiritually, there is something that's coming to an end, something that's being cleared away. Spiritually, karma, you could actually be clearing away karma. And this is actually going to allow you, since this is a new moon, it's actually going to allow you to establish a new foundation and a new emotional foundation in your day-to-day reality. So something spiritually that you're going to actually be able to release, some karma that you've had, you'll finally be able to clear it away. We also have to consider that we do have the lunar eclipse at the end of the month, which is happening in your sign. Mars is retrograde here, and the South Node is here. So that one's going to affect you directly. So definitely going to be a pretty powerful month. People are going to notice your energy, because you're going to kind of get this interesting effect where you almost get like a boost in energy. Despite the fact that Mars is retrograde in your sign, you're almost going to get like a boost of energy, especially, like I said, with that lunar eclipse at the end of the month. Let's see what other cards we have going on here. Oh, those cards just kind of popped out. They just popped out. Okay, we're actually just going to go with it. Let's just go with it. It's a lot of cards, but it's okay. It's probably talking about a story. This was the card that kind of came off to the side a bit, and then the rest kind of fell in a stack. So this is the King of Cups, all right? So this definitely can be speaking of a Pisces, Scorpio, or a Cancer. This could just be talking about this new moon. I'm feeling this is probably more of, it's either a Scorpio or a Pisces. That's just what I'm channeling. That this is probably a natural person that's going to play a very significant role in your life this month. We have the Tower card. So let's see. I'm gonna kind of run through these and kind of tell it like a story. So we have the Tower card. Something is falling away. Something is ending. An abrupt end, an abrupt change. Or maybe you will actually be bringing this realization to someone else. You might be that lightning bolt, right? You have the Seven of Pentacles here, which speaks to harvesting. And perhaps you're realizing now that that which you have harvested has come to an end. And it's time to focus on something new. Or maybe it is, well, let's continue on. Let's continue on. I'm not going to try and overanalyze it right now. We have the Knight of Swords. So this could be speaking of your energy, how you're feeling like the Knight of Swords, like how you're ready to move forward, but maybe you're a little too rash. Maybe you're a little overly logical. Maybe thinking things too logically right now. Maybe your vision might be a little clouded about what to work on next, what to manifest next, what to try and harvest. What seeds are you going to be planting? We have the Death card, which is also the card of transformation. So something is certainly coming to an end. Like we said, with the Tower card coming up. But this is a time of transformation. This is the Phoenix rising. Okay. We have the Hermit. So you're going to be going into some solitude. And this probably definitely has to do with this new moon solar eclipse, because it's happening in your 6th house and your 12th house. And the Hermit, this is actually Virgo's card. And this is, like I said, this is happening in your natural 6th house. Not only that, but you're going to be kind of going away so you can find yourself spiritually again. 3 of Wands. You're wanting to go on an adventure. You're wanting to move things forward. You're wanting to see what else is out there. There's got to be more for you to do, to see, to explore, to learn, right? We have the 6 of Wands. So after, it's like you go out there and you want to experience it, and now this isn't necessarily you coming back from those adventures. This is you arriving at the new you. And then it's like you're going to almost be celebrating. It's like, yes, I'm being born of new. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to celebrate myself. I'm ready to celebrate life. Yes. We have Judgment. This is all really going to be based off of, actions and actions, the way that you really work on that day-to-day reality. What changes you make in your day-to-day reality that are in line with your spiritual integrity, but also allow you to, have fun, of course. Not be too hard on yourself, not to try and overthink things too much. You kind of can be pretty heady, Aquarius. After all, you are the last air sign. But, this new moon is actually going to get you into your feelings quite a bit and having you follow your emotional guidance system. We have the Ace of Wands, so you're going to be feeling the passion, you're going to be feeling the fire, like you're ready to move things forward, like you can manifest anything, create anything. We have the 3 of Cups, which is really going to be a time of celebration, because now that you're moving forward on this new path, now that you're ready to celebrate yourself and who you are and raise your sense of self-confidence and value, you're going to be wanting to celebrate. That you should. We have the Lover's card, so perhaps you're celebrating with your partner, or, this can be you finding a new partner. But if you happen to be single, this is also you rising in love with yourself. We have Temperance, which speaks of balancing the yin and yang, the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies. So you will be working on that heavily throughout this month. And in fact, this is probably very much still entwined with your spiritual journey this month, is learning how to balance these two sides of you, learning how to embrace these two sides of you. We have the Ace of Cups, speaking of an emotional fulfillment, you filling up your cup, you feeling like you can actually give to other people because you are filled up. And this is also just speaking on the whole love aspect, how you are really just feeling so in love with life. Interesting enough, it ends off with the 7 of Wands, which can speak to you needing to stand your ground. Someone might be trying to come for your energy. Someone might be trying to come for your success, because you're going to be feeling super renewed. And I don't necessarily feel like this card in particular is July. This might be an August card. But whatever this is you having to really stand your ground and believe in yourself. After going through such a deep transformation, do you believe in yourself? Or are you going to allow what other people say and believe about you to take you down? And they might not even do it purposely to hurt you. They might do it, uncognizantly. But like I said, that overall card right there was the King of Cups, which is definitely speaking to this emotional healing. And really, I see this as having compassion. The King of Cups, I like to think of is the king out of the deck, where if someone comes into his court, say this person has rags on, he's been hurt, maybe he's sickly, maybe you can just tell that he's been through quite a bit. The King of Cups invites the person in and doesn't really question, where he's been. He doesn't worry about that stuff yet. He wants to make sure that he feels safe and secure. He invites him in, gives him clean water to drink, gives him food to eat, gives him nice clean clothes, helps him out in any way he can, and then he asks of the story. So this King of Cups is going to perform like that for you, and you can become this King of Cups in a sense. It's kind of interesting because you're Aquarius and you're the water bearer, but it's like what this is, I see, sorry, let me adjust this real fast, is you having that compassion for yourself, that you have been through the ringer. You know, the South Node's in your sign, Mars is retrograde here, so you might even be feeling energetically depleted. You have been through a lot. It's time for you to celebrate, Aquarius. This is the Age of Aquarius. It's the Age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. Like, this is your age. Someone just knocked on the door. How is that for something random? It would happen during your reading, Aquarius. We just got a package. You've got mail. I'm actually going to leave this and not even edit this out. So, I apologize. But at the same time, my fiance is an Aquarius and she just had a package delivered. So, yeah. But anyways, this is going to be a super powerful month for you, Aquarius. Like I said, all those cards just kind of came flying out and I ran through them really quickly. So I'm actually going to shuffle them back in. And then we'll draw a few more cards, and then we'll get into your sacred and your color cards, okay? You know, it wouldn't be a Aquarius reading if there wasn't some random thing that just happened out of nowhere. If there wasn't some, all right, I'm just going to switch it up. It wouldn't be Aquarius if that didn't happen. But that's what I love about you guys. It's like you guys are so innovative, and I like to think of you guys as mad geniuses. But, you know, with Mars retrograding your sign right now, that card wanted to come up, it's like, it's almost like the mad genius, because that's what I think Mars in Aquarius is. I think of it as a mad scientist. And this mad scientist could either be one to try and help humanity, or they could be just out for themselves. It really just depends. Or out for their own clique, you know, because Aquarius is kind of like, it kind of rules cliques in a sense, even though they're kind of the outsider, but it's like, you know, we're all kind of the same, we all kind of do the same thing, you know, it kind of rules cliques. Oh, look at that, your card just popped out, the star. So, you know, but with that Mars retrograde in your sign, it's like, you might be one who's like, okay, what am I going to create next? What am I going to invent next? So that's kind of where you guys are. That's why this, especially this new moon solar eclipse, which I will be making a video on it in the next few days, is really powerful because, like I said, it's happening for you along the 6th and 12th house axis. So it's like your day-to-day reality is going to start to reflect whatever spiritual change, whatever karma that's being uplifted and being, you've cleared it out now. Your day-to-day reality is going to shift profoundly, and it's going to really begin to affect your mood, your emotions, how you feel about things. See what else we got. All right. I'll draw those two cards. And then the bottom card was the Knight of Swords again, so that's interesting. I see the Knight of Swords as you. We have the Star card, like I said. That card was the one that flipped out. So this is definitely a very divine time for you. We have, interesting, we have the Empress, which is, yeah. We have the Empress, which is really powerful. I like to associate this card, and I don't know if it actually is, technically or canonically, but I like to associate this card with Taurus. And Uranus is there right now, so this is going to be a month that's really going to ask you to get grounded in a more innovative way, in a way that you haven't done so in the past. Let's see what these two cards are. Wow! We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. All right, so yes, a certain way that you have manifested in the past and some things that you have harvested in the past, which I'm seeing it as emotions. You've been harvesting emotions. Now it's time for you to clear away some of this. It's time for you to kind of uproot a lot of these emotions that you have harvested. Because it's not so much that you're not supposed to feel the negative emotions, but you want to have more positive emotions. You want to feel better. You want to feel good. And who doesn't want to feel good? This is going to be a time where, this is going to be a month, Aquarius, where you are actually making the decision to feel good, to feel better, to feel connected, to ironically feel more connected to the earth, but simultaneously with your deep quantum knowing and knowledge. And you're going to start to harvest better emotions, and it's going to start to happen in your everyday reality where you do something every day to make sure that you feel good, make sure that you feel better, make sure that you have a smile on your face, and it's going to bring you incredible fortune. And I think it's awesome because, we do have Jupiter, which it will be going direct, and I like to think of Jupiter as the planet of fortune, and it's just going to be a really powerful time for you, I see, where you're really going to just push forward in an amazing way. You're going to start harvesting better emotions, better feeling emotions. Not to say that you're not going to feel negative emotions, because you will, but you're going to realize the importance of feeling good on a more consistent basis. You're going to start to understand that it's by feeling good on a more consistent basis, Aquarius, that you're really going to feel in line with your path and your truth, and you'll really be able to show the world just how innovatively ingenious you are. Okay, let's go for, that was the most awkward wink ever. I just noticed it. That was I know it was the most awkward wink. Yeah. Let me tell you guys, if you want to know what awkward is, the definition of awkward, it's a Scorpio Sun and an Aquarius Sun trying to get along. It's awkward. It's fun, but it's awkward. Alright, we have Begin Now, which is take your first step. We also have Taking Shelter, which is the answers are within. And we also have Ascending the Mountain, which is keep going forward. I see this really as you kind of have this mountain to climb of, all right, I'm going to make sure that every day I do something to make myself feel better, to feel happier, to feel like the world's not against me, not the universe is against me. I want to feel better. You're choosing to begin now. You're going to take your first step this month towards feeling better. And as you climb this mountain, you're going to realize that there are going to be obstacles and challenges. So you will have to take some shelter, And this is the answers are within. This is speaking of this new moon in Cancer, where you're going to want to, take time to go within. I drew the Hermit card for you earlier, so take time to go within. Take time to listen to your own intuition. Take time to really create a better emotional foundation. And then it says Ascending the Mountain, which is keep going forward. So you are definitely. You're really working on, you're not necessarily working on trying to manifest anything physically or materially, although I do see that relationships, especially romantic relationships, are going to be very key for you this month. But what you're looking to manifest this month is a new emotional foundation that's going to set you up spiritually, like just day-to-day feeling more connected to spiritual source. And that's going to be fine-tailored to you and however that looks like for you. But that's really what you're setting yourself up for. You're going to be harvesting better emotions, more positive emotions. Let's see what your color card is. That card just wanted to flop up. Turquoise, awaken your empathy. This is kind of interesting. She's shaking her head over here right now. It's because you might not necessarily be the most empathetic sign, but you actually are kind of being forced to be empathetic. You know what's funny about this? I keep coming back to this new moon solar eclipse because, like I said, for you it's very powerful because it's happening along the 6th house, 12th house axis. Virgo is also ruled by Mercury, so Virgos have to think a lot. But the funny thing about Virgo, and if you are Virgo, if you know any Virgos that are close to you, you'll also know is that what they try to hide behind facts and a lot of reasoning is that they are incredibly freaking emotional. And I've learned after 5 years of being with this crazy girl, love you, babe, that Aquariuses are also pretty freaking emotional, but they like to hide it behind, oh, I want to help the world. I just want to help people. I want to be a humanitarian. Nobody gets me. I'm okay with being a loner. And that's cool, but this is going to be a time for you to awaken your empathy. The way to do that is, of course, have empathy for yourself. You are doing something that's a little bit outside the box. And the cool thing about you is that you normally do things outside the box. But even for you, this is outside the box. But I think what's going to happen is that when you begin to open up more to yourself and starting to value yourself more and wanting to feel better, you're going to kind of naturally open up this empathy. And it's going to even come across a little awkward to people, because people are going to look at you as like, are you trying to like empathize with me right now? And you're going to be like, yes, isn't life so beautiful and amazing? Don't you feel good? And they're going to be looking at you like, okay, I want what they're having. But honestly, I think it's going to be a very beautiful month, because you are going to you're going to be establishing this new these new spiritual roots, or really remembering your spiritual roots. But like I said, this is going to be a time that's very divine, very karmic. You're releasing an old story, adopting a new story, and that new story is choosing to feel better every single day. That is it for your reading, Aquarius. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you'd like a personal reading with me, you can follow the link in the description below to theaquarianadepts.com. And always remember, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile often. I think my camera was like shifting down this whole time.